Welcome back to the Activist Training Lab video course. Today I'm going to talk about coaching, and to do that I'm going to draw once again on one of my favorite resources, which is the free online handbook Organizing People, Power, and Change by Dr. Marshall Gans and other organizers. Organizing is full of challenges, obstacles, dilemmas, and learning opportunities, and the Organizing People, Power, and Change handbook explains that the goal of coaching is to help people find their own solutions to meet challenges, and the role of the coach is to ask questions to get people to uncover the answers in themselves. So basically, if you're coaching someone, you don't want to come up with solutions to problems for them, tell them what to do, or even offer too much advice. You just want to ask questions, listen attentively, and facilitate a conversation that can help them explore the nature of the challenge they're facing and explore potential solutions before coming to their own decision about how to move forward. What's so cool about coaching is that it can really empower people, and it can help them build confidence, build resilience and adaptability, build problem-solving skills, develop the ability to navigate complex situations. And these are qualities that are really beneficial for a movement leader or anyone to have. The Organizing People, Power, and Change handbook identifies 5 steps in the coaching process, which you can see here. The first step is to inquire and observe. So as the coach, your goal is to have a conversation with your coachee and find out what challenges or obstacles they're facing. And you want to help that person explore the nature of the problem, so you'll want to ask lots of questions and follow-up questions and listen very carefully to their responses. The second step is diagnosis. So in this step as the coach, you continue the conversation with your coachee and try to collaboratively diagnose the root of the problem and identify potential solutions. You might feel like you know what the solution is, but you don't want to just tell your coachee what to do. You try to encourage them to come up with ideas of their own and work with them to evaluate the merits of different options. Obviously, if your coachee gets really confused or stuck, you can and should offer them some suggestions or options. The point isn't that they need to figure it out totally alone, but just that they should be engaged and empowered in the problem-solving process. And this stage is where I often might share useful resources with my coachee or invite them to a meeting, a training, or an event that I think might help them address their problem, or offer them emotional support and encouragement. The third step is intervention, and in this step you want to support the coachee to make a clear, time-bound plan for moving forward. The Organizing People, Power, and Change handbook actually offers some great questions to use in the intervention step. So for example, if you knew you wouldn't fail, what would you do? What would your next step be? How will you put this new information into practice? What is the very next step in moving forward? What resources and support do you need from me to accomplish this task? And when will you do all of this by? And then the fourth step is action. So this step requires the least work from the coach, but is sometimes the most difficult because it requires completely stepping back and just letting the coachee do their thing. So you want to give them time and space to try to move forward and advance, the plan that they made. And then the final step is to check in after the coachee has had time to implement their plan. And in this stage, you work with them to assess how things went. You might need to repeat the whole coaching cycle if the problem hasn't been solved. You might be able to celebrate solving a dilemma successfully, or maybe you might have to do a little bit of both of those things. And I personally believe that the best coaches are able to strike a really careful balance in this stage between celebrating and appreciating what the coachee has done well, and also holding the coachee accountable for what didn't go well and pushing them to continue growing as an organizer. One final note I want to make is that coaching can happen both vertically and horizontally. So, sometimes people's first instinct when they imagine coaching is to imagine, more experienced organizers coaching less experienced organizers. So coaching kind of flowing down from those who are more experienced to less experienced. And that's a vertical model of coaching. And that can be very valuable. But I've also been part of movements in the past where movement leaders with the same relative level of experience will kind of all coach each other. So for example, I was part of a group that had around 8 to 10 movement leaders, and we would kind of trade off playing the coach or the coachee and helping each other solve problems and grow as organizers. And that's more of a horizontal or flat model of coaching. So, coaching can happen in both of those different formats. And that brings us to the end of this video. I would really like to record like a full sample coaching conversation in the future to help people get an idea of what it can look like. So keep an eye out for that. And until then, don't forget to subscribe to our channel or visit our website for more Activist Training Lab content.